Hello, everybody. This is Ace. Sorry for taking so long to post. I usually try to do these on Wednesdays, but it's been a very hard slash busy week for me. I'm in America, and yesterday was 9/11, which is a hard day. And then we also had a assassination in our country, it's always hard to see. And, it's very sad. And so my mood has been kind of down this week. And a job that I was expected to get ended up falling through. So it's been a rough week. Bright side is I get to do this video. My son has a dance tonight, his first one, so I'm excited for that. And he also very excited joined the D&D club. So he's in the process of making his character sheets and things like that. And then we get to go to the fair tomorrow. So exciting things happening. This weekend should be a lot better, but sorry this post is so late. I also just want to talk a little bit about, I obviously just mentioned my work situation, but I've been kind of evaluating my work situation. And right now I have a very, very, very part-time job. It's more of an on-call job. So I do childcare at a church. And it's okay, but being there, it just I just don't have that passion for children and families anymore. I think it just like died. Unfortunately, when I took this last job, I mean, I it was very traumatizing for me at my last job to constantly get yelled at. And I mean, being yelled at by a parent is one thing. It's the consistency that it was every day somebody, usually a parent, but sometimes staff, sometimes, coworker, and sometimes my boss. So there was a lot of pressure too. So there was that, and then there was also the pressure of getting everything done on time. If you've ever worked in childcare, it's a very chaotic field. It can be very rewarding, and it has been very rewarding for the last 20 years. But I think after 20 years, I really haven't seen a lot change. You're always dealing with chaos. You're always dealing with call outs. You're always dealing with having to rearrange your entire day because of one person. And it, I just got super burnt out. I'm really burnt out and thinking of applying to jobs where I have a degree in childcare and early learning. Just thinking about applying to them makes me makes me ill. Like I get anxious. I My stomach is queasy. I read the job descriptions and I'm like, I can do all of that stuff. I can, but I don't want to anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And so it's kind of been hard grappling with that because I don't want to do that. I want to go to a job where there aren't children, quite honestly, where there's adults that can just talk and collaborate and work together. And I know that adult only fields are just as chaotic. I'm not saying that they're not, but when you take the stress of children away, it just seems it just seems a little better. And like I said, I know that there's going to be problems and issues, and I'm horrible socially anyway. But I, I mean, I had a job interview at a private elementary school, and I did that interview, and I was nervous the whole time. And I'm pretty sure I came across that way because I haven't heard anything back. Uh, and it's hard to interview for a job when your heart is really not in it. I mean, at least with me, it's very obvious. I'm not very good at hiding things. emotion wise. So, so I've been anyway thinking about going back to school and changing careers and what would I want to do. I've always loved art. I used to draw all the time when I was little. So I sorry about that. I had to stop for a second. My husband came home. I thought his appointment was going to take a lot longer. But anyway, so I've been looking at different options, and I've always been interested in art and drawing. And as I got into the workplace, one of the really things that I really loved about part of my job in early childcare was creating things. So creating newsletters, PowerPoints, flyers. I really like that. And so, I looked up what kind of job can do that. And graphic designer is what popped up. I'm not so great with the tech, but that's something that my husband is good at that I can learn. And I've been trying to teach myself as well. So I think I might try to go back to school to get either a certificate in graphic design or a degree in graphic design. It's just a matter of finding money to go back to school and do that and see what can happen because I really enjoy creating stuff. I've got an account with Canva. If anyone's ever used Canva, I love making stuff on that and creating things. And I think I would really enjoy it. And seems like people need graphic designers as much as they need childcare. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into the book. The book we're talking about is this one by Jeff Ashworth, the NPC one. So let's roll for it. So we can choose. Let's see. We can choose big city denizens, small town tenants, outskirts and outposts, and underdwellers. So let's go ahead and roll to see which one we do. Got a 2. All right, so that's going to be small town tenants. And out of that, we can do common folk, nobles and leaders, law keepers and lawbreakers, oddballs and outsiders, and random NPCs. So let's roll for that as well. 3. Okay, and I think there's 15 in this one, so I'll use a 12 and yeah, I'll use a 12. Oh, no, I'll use a 20 and see if it lands over a 15, I'll use the 12, but all right. A 1. So I got a 1, so we're going to do the very first one. And that is, let's see here, Gertrude Biggums. Her catchphrase is, "Can't get that for a silver." She is a small for a halfling in a child's leather armor with wide blue eyes and puckish features, as well as a voice you could hear before you laid eyes on her. For the devout, there's a faint hint of undeath around this woman. Interesting, undeath around her. A wee halfling and captain of the guard, Gertrude Biggums doesn't need to do much in order to get her way. A pact she made with the Celestial in another life has seen to that. Thankfully, her ways seems to be aligned with the direct needs of the townsfolk. Gertrude possesses the ability to charm person at 6th level 5 times per long rest, a skill she's been utilizing to her advantage since she drowned. Well, drowned is a scary word. She fell off a boat into the depths and couldn't breathe for 30 minutes. And that's where she found Uhura. But enough about that. What about you? What brings you here? Interesting. So she's got kind of an interesting backstory. So it's suggesting that she's dead and was brought back to life by a celestial. Her wants and needs. She wants to make a positive impact on this town and knows her time is short. She can convince a whole room to do what she suggests, but her charms have been unhelpful against the Ani that's rumored to be wandering the nearby forest. Interesting. Secret or obstacle, though she doesn't like to talk about it, Gertrude's pact with Celestial Ahura will fade over the course of the next few seasons. Once the leaves change again, she'll die a second time. Yep, she's only got a little bit of time left. That's a very interesting backstory. I really like that. She is carrying 2 copper pieces, 9 silver pieces, 150 gold pieces, a short list of available bounties, a tiny carved wooden celestial figurine. Cool. I like Gertrude. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like on the AI, shall we? So there. Okay, let's share the screen. Share. We'll do that. Share. Okay, we are now sharing. And let's go ahead and the small halfling leather armor with white blue eyes and buckets feature. Voice that you could hear. Let's also put in there a hint of undead to her. All right, let's see what we get. Oh, it's so cute, but not what I'm picturing in my mind. It totally looks like a child. Very soft features and things like that. Never, not very puckish either. Puck is from A Midsummer's Night's Dream and is very what's the word? Mischievous, trickstery. So let's try it again. See if there's any change. Oh, it's kind of slow. Oh, that's a little bit better. I like that one. Still looks like a kid, but a little bit more puckish and you know, looks like she would charm a person. I like this one a little bit better. Let's try another one. I like that one too. That one definitely looks a little bit more like Gertrude. See, I don't like it with the big wide anime eyes. Yeah, that one's not too bad, although her cheeks are very round like a baby. So let's, instead of halfling, because it looks like AI is having a hard time with that, let's do woman. Okay, well, that's really different. Again, doesn't really look puckish or have any hints of undead. I don't know, she looks weird. It's a little bit better. I feel like if she was smaller, maybe. Let's do, no, not that one. Let's change it up a bit and do a small undead woman. See what it comes up with. Oh, that looks that looks a little better. Let's try it instead of the woman. Let's try halfling again. Oh, that's creepy. No, let's not do that one. See, now the cute kid just looks like Gollum. That one's a little bit better. I don't know why it keeps looking like Gollum though. Man, they really do give them like they're undead. They you automatically get like bags under your eyes. Anyway, that is enough of that. Oh. Wrong button. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, so that was Gertrude. Lots of different variations on her. Kind of hard to pin her down, but something like that. At least they got the eyes and things like that. But she sounds like an interesting person with a mighty personality there that wants to do as much good as she can before she goes. And really, isn't that all of us wants to do as much good as we can before we go? Anyway, thanks for joining, and I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.